Imagine buying a nearly $3,000 animatronic robot right from your living room, and all to celebrate a holiday that was accidentally invented to congratulate a 1970s British Prime Minister.
It is pretty wild when you think about it.
Right. Welcome to today's deep dive. We're synthesizing a stack of sociological and retail sources to explore how Star Wars Day, May 4th, evolved by 2026 from this localized newspaper pun into a multi-billion-dollar AI-driven commercial titan.
That's a massive shift.
It really is. Okay, let's unpack this, because you really can't understand today's retail behemoth without looking at its incredibly random origins.
No, you can't. And this definitely wasn't some master plan from George Lucas. The phrase actually debuted in a May 3rd, 1979 advertisement in the London Evening News.
And just to pause here, we need to explicitly state that we are impartially reporting this historical text. We're taking absolutely no sides, just conveying the original source.
Absolutely, just the facts. So, political supporters bought this ad to congratulate Margaret Thatcher on her election victory. The ad simply read, "Dear Maggie, may the 4th be with you."
It's just so funny to look back at the text and see this pop culture juggernaut starting as a completely unrelated political ad.
Yeah.
But the fans loved the pun, ran with it, and for decades it was just this, grassroots underground tradition.
Exactly. What's fascinating here is how that linguistic flexibility laid the groundwork for the corporate takeover we see in 2026.
Because it started out feeling authentic to the fans.
Right, it grew organically. But by 2026, the studios have completely co-opted that authenticity to turn May 4th into a massive transmedia center of gravity.
Center of gravity.
Yeah, and by transmedia, I don't just mean a standard movie release. I mean, it is a coordinated assault on your attention. They perfectly synchronized the streaming finale of the animated series Maul Shadow Lord with the theatrical pre-sales launch for The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Wow, so one story ends right as the hype machine for the next one kicks in and demands your wallet.
Precisely.
Pulling off that level of coordination requires a terrifyingly sophisticated logistical infrastructure.
Yeah.
It's honestly like the hyper-efficiency of the Galactic Empire.
That's a really good way to put it.
Right. Except instead of tracking rebel bases, predictive AI is tracking your cursor, making sure the warehouse 3 miles from your house already has the exact lightsaber you're about to impulsively buy based on your past clicks.
It's almost unsettling.
Oh, totally. Our sources note that 80% of retail interactions today are entirely AI-driven. And here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Thanks to new augmented reality tech, fans are using their phones to project a $2,875 animatronic Grogu droid right into their living rooms, just to see how it looks before they hit purchase.
Wow, which, perfectly illustrates the broader shift toward what sociologists call participatory cinema.
Meaning you aren't just sitting in a dark theater passively watching a screen anymore.
Right, exactly. Through things like digital NeoPixel lightsaber VR duels.
Oh, where you're physically swinging a hilt in your living room.
Yeah. While fighting an AI Sith Lord in your headset. And with massive integrations with platforms like Epic Games, the technology transforms you from a passive viewer into an active, paying participant in the universe.
But, all this frictionless corporate integration hasn't gone unnoticed by sociologists. There is some severe resistance brewing.
There really is. Sociologists point to the IP capture critique. It's this idea that beloved characters are trapped in a creative death spiral.
A death spiral?
Yeah, just endlessly recycled by corporations instead of being allowed to organically conclude. And this raises an important question about how modern studios operate.
Because they're doing things intentionally now, right?
Yes. Sources argue that corporations now deliberately weaponize fan outrage over mediocre or mid content just to fuel engagement.
Wait, really?
Oh, yeah. Because social media algorithms heavily reward strong negative emotions, a fiercely debated, controversial movie generates 10 times the free advertising of a universally okay one.
So the studio isn't even selling a good story anymore. They are selling the argument itself.
Exactly.
But isn't it kind of dystopian that this corporate machinery is overwriting actual history? Looking at the sociological critiques we reviewed, some argue this overwhelming commercial noise acts as a massive distraction from real May 4th labor history.
Like the 1886 Haymarket riot.
Right. And again, just to reiterate our strict neutrality here, we are merely reporting the source's sociological critique.
Of course.
But the critique is that it forces you to look at how a manufactured corporate narrative can just completely bulldoze historical memory right off the calendar.
It's a profound tension. You have a day that represents genuine communal joy and mythic hope for millions of fans.
Yeah.
But underneath, it is fundamentally a product of massive corporate consolidation and algorithmic manipulation.
So what does this all mean?
Right.
Ultimately, May 4th is a complex collision of that mythic hope, deeply participatory fandom, and sheer corporate power.
Yeah.
Which leaves you with this provocative final thought to explore. If AI algorithms can now perfectly predict and manufacture the exact nostalgia you want to buy, will future generations ever have the chance to spontaneously invent their own grassroots traditions?
Like that 1979 newspaper pun.
Exactly. Or will all our shared cultural moments just be prepackaged from the start?